Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get started here. We have our crowd here logging in and people coming in through the elevator. I can hear the bing coming up. So, we're going to let everybody come in. But now, let's get started. For those of you joining us for the first time, this is our CCIM Greater Los Angeles Broker Forum. We have it online and in person. Today we have it graciously. We have a location here who has been graciously sponsored by Bank of America. We have an office space that they give us. We have imported in from the Langham. We have hors d'oeuvres. We have coffee. We have tea. We have, for those of you who want to be inspired to come into our in-person, I know Cheryl, you see that, right, Cheryl?
Yep.
So we got the goods, guys. We got the goods. Okay, so let's also look at, we do have coffee and donuts as well for those of you who want to keep it traditional. So in person and online. And for me, everybody kind of already knows me. I'm your CCIM Greater Los Angeles board member that's here to support the cause. I host these broker forums, and for those of you who haven't been on here before, what we do here is we share listings. We have a sponsor highlight, and from there we also have an update on all of our events and education that we provide. We've been putting together a networking event for you guys. So we were looking to have it here for the holidays, actually. So the holiday season coming up. So our networking, I'm working with our board to put together a specific event, and we have been in contact with, I believe, ARIA, Crew LA, and different organizations. We might be able to put something together. So, but the point is that networking is on the schedule. So we'll keep you guys posted. But let's keep going. So first and foremost, without our sponsors, we would not be able to do any of this, number one, okay? So what does that mean? Let me go through our list. We have our platinum sponsor, CoStar Group. We have our gold sponsors here coming up. RPM Commercial, Restores, excuse me, is that properly? Restores? I'm like, I don't know why I kept saying Restores. Anyways, Restores. We have Bank of America, and these are our gold sponsors. And for those of you who, again, may want to support the chapter in a different way, we have our upcoming installation that's coming up next month, and we have a great package that you're able to sponsor to buy a table at Laurie's Beverly Hills and be able to also get comps, not only seats, but also a silver sponsor for the following year. So we have a deal that's coming up right now for a lot of the sponsors who are silver sponsors who always attend our delicious Laurie's luncheon. For those of you, we'll give you more details about that later. But that's our installation that's coming up. Exactly, we have our silver sponsors. Let's keep going. We have a plethora of different sponsors who are either service providers and also provide a lot of different transactional support, and we also have commercial brokerages. We have everybody in this group, in this lineup, and they're all resources for everybody in the chapter. Even if you're not a member of the chapter, they're resources to the industry. So let's keep going. And let's keep going. We also have our bronze sponsors and our copper sponsors. If there's any way you want to support the chapter, there's plenty of ways to support the chapter, and we appreciate all the support that we get. And for those of you who want to ask, if you have any questions or want to know more about any of our sponsors, please reach out to myself, reach out to DJ. We're here to offer support, give you guys feedback, and answer any questions. So we'll continue on. And for today, we have one of our sponsor highlights, Mr. Glenn Rohr. Are you on the line, sir? DJ.
Glenn is on the way to, he will be there in person, but he's still stuck in traffic. He said we can proceed without him.
No problem. Ladies and gentlemen, Glenn Rohr, our current sitting CCIM president, he's making his way to Pasadena today. God bless him. From I think he's from Lancaster. So yes, God, let's see. I'm telling you, we got diehards on this chapter, on this board of directors, right? We got people from I think we have another board member who's from Santa Barbara. Mr. Lieberman, he's on here. So we cover 5 counties. For those of you who don't know, we cover 5 separate counties. And again, we'll happily go over those another time. But we'll continue on to listings. And what we're going to do is we'll jump right back. And let's talk about deals, ladies and gentlemen. It is the time for year-end transactions. This is it, guys. This is it, 2024. So let's get started. So Craig, start us off. Go for it. Remember the 2 minute. We're gonna give 2 to 3 minutes, and then we're gonna keep moving.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. So all I do is sell apartments. So hence my company name, Apartment Investment Specialists. First listing that I have is in Ventura. These structures you see there were actually built in 1926, so they're almost 100 years old, but they're still putting out 18,000 a month. I don't know if any of you heard about the recent laws that Governor Newsom signed in, but one of them is the SB 1211. It was signed into law in September, becomes effective January 1st. And what this says is for any multifamily property, you can match 1-to-1 up to a maximum of 8 ADUs, meaning for every existing structure or existing unit, you can build an ADU. So this property has value galore because I think it comes out to about 170 plus a unit. The average for 1+1s, these are all 1+1 units, 1 bedroom, 1 bath. The average in Ventura is about 275 to 350,000 a unit. So tons of upside. And where you see the base of that triangle into that open area, that's where you'd be able to build the 8 units. So you could end up with 23 units. And ultimately, this property's meant to be fully developed. So you would probably raise those existing structures ultimately, because like I say, they're 100 years old, and build newer units, and then you'd have the 8 ADUs already in place. So it's all I can say, it's a hell of a lot of upside. This is on the west side of Ventura. These kind of deals don't come up too often. So that's about it. I don't know if anybody has any questions about it, but
yes, is there any estimates on what the construction cost would be to fully develop this property?
Well, ADUs are probably averaging about 200 to 250 per. So, and it depends whether you build 1 or 2 bedrooms. I walked the property with my architect, and he thinks we can get 900 to 1,200. 1,200's the maximum size for ADUs in the state. And he thinks you can get probably 2-bedroom, 2-bath units, which new would probably get you about 3,000 a month. So you'd have to do the math to figure out, but it would come out very financially feasible over long haul. And again, what the ultimate plan would be is to raise those 100-year-old structures, tear them down, and build new units and add. And I think the ultimate, the seller told me he thought the city told him he can have up to a maximum of 30 units on that property. But you're buying it for basically $2.5 million. And like I say, it just is it's a pallet, like an art piece. It's a pallet that you can just build on and have a lot of upside. This you don't see too often. So
Agreed. If we're pricing to some easy numbers, ladies and gentlemen, we are at 265, add another 25 for construction. You're looking at potentially, if you're looking at the current, is this retail price in terms of the price per unit?
as retails, like I said, 275 to 350 for 1+1s. For twos, you're
Right.
probably talking about 400,000 per.
Wow. There you go. So that
So
right?
there's a lot of upside.
Yeah, well, I thought, yeah, just easy numbers right there, guys.
And
So,
again,
thank you.
you could live with the 18,000 a month, build your ADUs, and you know, you wouldn't even have to tear down the existing structures to build all brand new. You could wait on that kind of a two-phase project. So
Definitely interesting. Anybody else have any questions? We're gonna keep moving. Family? Well, Craig, thank you for that one. We're gonna go to your next one.
this next one is a 7-unit property also in Ventura. It's 6 2-bedroom, 1-bath units and 1 townhouse style 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath. The seller is very handy, so he's upgraded all the units. And we're at a 4.5 cap, 13.9 GRM. But there's not a lot of inventory for sale coming up, so this just adds to it. Can't think of anything else I'd want to say. I do want to mention that I was just told last night that someone wants me to sell his 13 unit up in Santa Maria. So if anybody's interested in northern Santa Barbara County, I'll have another property. And I think this gentleman has a lot of properties, so if anybody wants to look yonder into North Santa Barbara County, I might have a lot of inventory for sale. So that's all I got.
Excellent, Craig. Thank you much. Appreciate you sharing your listings. And for those of you who are multifamily experts, connect with Craig and review his inventory. So, Mr. Greg Offsay.
Thanks, everyone.
Anybody from
I'm here. Good morning.
Morning.
So this
Welcome
is,
back.
excuse me one second. This is a potential owner user or investment opportunity on Laurel Canyon, about half a block off the 101 freeway. We were selling the 2 kind of mirror image buildings, but we ended up selling the neighboring single tenant dental building to a dentist to operate his business there. It's about 4,700 square feet of GLA, 7 units. So there's a couple units on the ground level, and then the rest are on the second floor. The current owner has a small office in the corner with a private restroom and a shower. You can combine units to add more square footage if you've got a professional office that wants to operate out of the building. You can rent out units and have income. The cap rate you see there is pro forma. At closing, it's basically 0.5%, because the tenants, except for one tenant, all of them are personal friends of the owner, and they basically just pay almost nothing, but they're all month to month. So you can keep a little bit of income while you figure out your strategy here. You can you can get rid of everybody except for the one that has a little bit of term left on a lease, and start operating day one. It does have a reciprocal parking agreement with the medical building next door, which unfortunately covenants 6 of the spaces to that building. But it does allow for use of 1 handicap space on the other parcel to accommodate handicap needs on this one.
Have you explored any medical potential here at all?
It would be really tough given the fact that we had to take parking away from this parcel in order to get medical permitted on the other parcel years ago. The backstory is that the owner is a retired dentist. He built the practice in the other building years ago and essentially did whatever he had to do to make that building a dental practice. And he, excuse me, my throat. He took some parking from the 21 property to satisfy the needs on the 17. He put in an elevator on the 17 so that there was ADA accessibility for that. So I doubt you could get much medical, maybe a small 1,000-footer on the ground level. The ground level is currently occupied by a personal trainer who essentially trades training services for a space with the owner. So that guy would love to stay and he'd be happy to pay some reasonable rent. But it's a great location right in the heart of Valley Village, next to Studio City and North Hollywood, right off the 101 freeway. We sold the other building for $3,450,000. Obviously that was medical. This is just general office. So we're understanding that it's going to be priced lower. But at $2,950,000, there's still some room and it's still a great opportunity, especially for an owner user.
Hey, would the seller carry?
No, he's exchanging.
There you go. Excellent, Greg. Appreciate you. Anybody else have any questions?
All right, you guys have seen this one before. This is the Supply Sergeant retail store and the adjacent vacant retail unit on Hollywood Boulevard, a few blocks east of the intersection of Hollywood and Highland, right in the heart of the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It's about 9,500 square feet of building. We just lowered the price to $5,150, which means that any sale we do will beat Measure ULA. You won't have to pay the mansion tax on it. For those who don't know, ULA had a cost of living increase, and as of this summer, I think it was June, the 5 million threshold got bumped up to 5,150. So that's sort of the threshold where we're priced at. But this is also a great owner-user play. If you have a retailer that wants to be on Hollywood Boulevard, could be an interesting investment opportunity to have 2 prime storefronts on Hollywood Boulevard to play around with. There is a really huge, famous rooftop sign on this building. You've seen it in movies. It's a soldier, and it says Supply Sergeant, most recently in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That sign is on the historic registry, so we will need to figure out how to appropriately replace that sign with a new sign for somebody else, remove it and donate it for historic preservation. That's the ideal. I guess it's possible that if a buyer wanted to keep it on the building, we might consider that as well.
It's a very interesting transaction. A lot of
It is. The Supply Sergeant retail store is still operating. They will be closing by the time we close escrow, so the building will be delivered vacant.
Excellent, Greg. Well, thank you so much for presenting. Yeah, one more. Go for it.
Same family, different retail location. This is the Supply Sergeant retail store in Burbank on Victory Boulevard, half a block off of the intersection of Magnolia. It's a great location, right in, you know, in the heart of the kind of street retail hub of Burbank. It's not, you know, downtown Burbank where, you know, the bigger, newer developments are with IKEA and everything, but or town center, but there's a lot of good food, good retail in the surrounding area. It's right off the 5 freeway. There are a couple roll-up doors in the back. This was multiple storefronts that were combined in over the years to encompass this retail store. They've been there for, I think, 50 plus years. Again, recent price reduction, motivated sellers. We want to close these businesses and sell the real estate as soon as possible.
Is there any type of, you know, zoning or other use that you think this could be useful for, other than retail? I mean, is there having parking for even potentially a medical play, or I mean, what are your thoughts?
It's a bit underparked. There's only about 8 spaces in the back. We have had some people look into conversion for medical or quasi-medical, like med spa type businesses with the city, and have gotten some favorable feedback. It's definitely best used for retail, or maybe even a little bit of a flex type play because of the roll-up doors. You could do some loading in the back there. Has decent power, but not amazing. They are older buildings. And as far as retail goes, it's got pretty good ceiling heights too. So you walk in, your ceilings are about 12 feet. It's older storefront, but that's what you get in Burbank. And I think you can have a really nice, charming retail outlet or flex showroom kind of stock areas in the back with retail in the front.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, I think
Thank you.
wraps it up. Appreciate you, man. All right, Sean.
Hi. I don't know if you can see me, but I can't see me.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm going to switch gears with you. So this is a 14 unit new construction in Brooklyn. I think that it's a 2020 or 2021 vintage. It's a great addition for a multifamily operator or a new investor that's looking for something that's low maintenance, since it's just constructed. It's got a 30-year tax abatement on it. The taxes for both properties, 51 and 55 Veronica Place, amount to about $18.95 a year. It's 100% occupied. So it's a stable, steady income with gradual upside potential. There's a large cellar that could be monetized, where you could add storage bins that you can rent out. It's a 5 cap on the entrance, so you could probably increase it gradually over the years. Yeah, I think it's a nice investment for someone that wants to invest in New York City and start off with like a 5 cap. I mean, by the time in a few years, there's also a path to non-stabilized. So the apartments are stabilized right now. Okay.
What would you advise? Because right now, I would say everybody in the room deals with a lot of California investors. What would you say? What would you say to a California investor that would incentivize them to go to Brooklyn? I mean, kind of give us a little bit of education. We're happy to talk about transactions out of state. We always do, but we always ask that. Are you from Brooklyn, or are you based out there?
Sure. Yes. So I'm from Brooklyn. I still have relationships in New York City. I practice real estate in Brooklyn for about 9 years, but I live in California now. So I still have a good amount of relationships in New York City that trust my opinion and trust the fact that I could get this done for them. if someone is looking for something that's a little bit of a higher cap rate than California, I say look to Brooklyn. If someone is looking for new construction where, you know, there's definitely there's no shortage of rental there. It's definitely a rental town, so you wouldn't have to worry about turnover rates or anything like that.
Got it.
It's also close to the subway. I don't know if you noticed, but in New York City, there's a lot more people that take the subway than drive. So I think there's a lot of upside potential to that there. It's close to Brooklyn College. It's close to the Brooklyn Hospital Center. It's close to Prospect Park. So it's a real nice community and neighborhood feel. Okay.
Excellent. Oh, Sean, thank you for sharing. Does anybody have any questions? No questions right now, Sean, but hey,
Okay,
we're gonna
well-
put your contact information in the chat. We definitely love to hear more from you and kind of, you know, see if we can let people know about New York. Hey, we're a nationwide group, so definitely happy to get you in contact with some folks out there as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sean.
Okay.
Next one. I think we have Dario.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
Hey, thanks for having me. My first listing is this one in Hollywood, downtown Hollywood, off of Argyle and Hollywood Boulevard, which is 1 block east of Vine. This is across the street from the Pantages Theater. They're from the subway across the street on Hollywood Boulevard. I mean, it's Hollywood and Vine, basically. We had this property on the market a couple of years ago for substantially higher, well, it's on price, but we had this property listed for the high teens. We were negotiating a joint venture, which fell apart, not because of the property, but because the seller doesn't want a joint venture. She just wants to dump it and get rid of it. So we came back to the market unpriced. We're not looking to do an entitlement deal. I know there's a lot of issues in Hollywood, but we're willing to sell it at a price commensurate with the risk. So to give you an example, we recently received an offer for 7.2 that we countered at 8 million. We're still negotiating that. Don't know if we're going to get to a deal, but ultimately that goes to show you that at a sub 250 a square foot on dirt in downtown Hollywood is a very desirable price point. You can build anything you want here, basically, because it's a mix of commercial and residential zoning. You can build mixed use, you can build retail, you can build hotel, you can build apartments, you can build almost anything you want, but you will have to go fight with the city council, with the neighborhood council, with all the issues in Hollywood and building and designing in Hollywood. It's obviously a very contentious neighborhood, but ultimately the development potential is substantial.
Amazing.
Next.
Any major hurdle? Any major hurdles for that side?
Oh
or?
yeah, of course, all the hurdles.
There you go, everybody.
Anything you can think of, it's going to be a hurdle. But ultimately, this property used to be a church that burnt down 20 years ago, and it's been vacant ever since. And it gets a bunch of homeless squatters and whatnot. So the city is dying to see something built. So long as you don't go crazy and ask for a 100-story building, they're going to work with you.
Got it. Wow.
This is another list. This is another listing of mine by USC. It is a 5-unit building. Sorry. The front structure are 2 townhomes. The back structure is 2 townhomes plus a flat unit, which was an ADU. There are 5 parking spots in the back. This is walking distance to the new George Lucas Museum at Exposition Park. That's going to open, I think, in the next 12 months. All of Expo Park is getting redesigned, where they're moving all the parking subterranean and building all the parks on top of the parking. So it's going to be a ton of open space. This property, the back units are fully occupied. The 2 units were, the sellers are leasing out per bedroom, since it is in the USC submarket. Ultimately, the school year started, so it's going to be tough to lease up as individual units. So they are marketing it both ways, but it is a great investment for somebody that wants to do furnished rental. As an example, one of the back units is rented to traveling nurses. They actually normally they sign a 3-month lease, but these people signed an 18-month lease, so I'm assuming they have a longer contract. But that's the kind of tenants that I would suggest is, you know, furnished rentals, rent by the room, etc. So the sellers are motivated. They just finished this product, wood frame. They built it partially prefab off-site, and just beautiful brand new building with within a great location of the USC submarket.
Oh, great. Great ideas too for how to, you know, lease up some of these units, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
This is another listing of ours, a little bit outside of what I normally do, but still part of what I do. This is a 60,000 square foot total warehouses. It's 4 structures, just recently completed in California City, which is North LA. Well, not LA anymore. It's in the next to Mojave. California City has been a big boom city for the last, you know, boom and bust, and then becoming boom again because of all the central of California area. They are in the process of building a dry port in Mojave, which is within, you know, 20 minutes of this area. Dry port being where all the distributions that we have coming in from the seaports to be able to redistribute through Mojave as well and go up into all the other areas. So there's been a lot of development over here. The original owners built this in consideration of doing medical marijuana, which medical marijuana efficacy has plummeted because there's the finances just don't pencil anymore. So they finished. It took them a long time to get this entitled and approved and built, but they are no longer doing the marijuana business, so they are selling it. I don't know, she put the lot size, but it should have been the building size. The building, I said, is 60,000 square feet, so we're selling it at a attractive price per square foot. Sellers are motivated, so there's even still flex on this price. Like I said, all brand new building. The electric power just went in this week, so it's ready to occupy. The sellers won't deliver it with TI. A buyer would have to do that on their own, but as far as electrical and full C of O, they would have that installed.
Excellent. Do you have any questions for Dario? Well, Dario's great listings. Thank you for joining us. And
Thanks,
we'll
guys.
see you on the next one. Thank you. All right, Mr. Rubik.
Good morning, everybody. Rubik Ovanesi and Cranbrook Realty Corp. This is in Valley Village, great location. A block away is Gelson's market, and demographics is great. We have a seller that is a physician and initially bought the site to do a medical building, and then he changed it. What you have under the Valley Village specific plan, 3-story building with 2 levels of parking. I don't know how that happened, but the second and third floor is where the 10 units are located at. And he's in it about $1.9 million, close to $2 million. And we priced it at $1.5 million. And the way we priced it is not on the existing building because it's very inefficient. Our recommendation is to do 5 townhouses attached. You can subdivide and develop them on grade. There's a great market for it. So our suggested pricing is about $1.5 million, $1.6 million range. Site is demolished, vacant, dirt lot. He's worked out through his architect. He's in plan check, approved. And so electricity is all lined up. He's got all kinds of the reports. So my recommendation is somebody to buy it and propose a new development of 5 attached units. Lot is 60 by 135. There was an alley in the back. Neighbors wanted it vacated, so it got vacated. So this lot got a little bit 10 feet longer. So this is the advantage with this property, and you beat the ULA tax because when you subdivide, you can sell them individually. We're anticipating if anybody does this townhome project, the units will sell around $1.5 million. So there's a good profit margin, just the carry time and the development. Fees on it 2%.
Got it.
Okay. Now, one other thing, consultant says you can do ED1 on this, do a 4 or 5 story building and packing the units around 28, 29 units with no parking. So that's the added. But again, a lot of the developers that do that prefer a double lot or a triple lot. But again, a single lot does work as well. Any questions?
No questions on my end, Rubik. Thank you so much for sharing. Do we have another listing for you? Yeah, go ahead.
This is in Hollywood on Wilcox. Initially, the owner developer proposed 15 units. He got it approved with 3 affordable. He had 1 as a replacement, 2 with the density bonus TOC. Got it all approved and then market adjusted. So he's had it kind of RTI for 2 years or so. And our recommendation is to do 5 units. Townhome project across the street. There's a couple of them done. Works very efficient. And this is again same story. Or you can do ED1, about 27 units, no parking, 5-story. Okay, fees 2% on it. Demolished vacant lot. Fountain. This is a block away from the Church of Scientology at the intersection of Edgemont and Fountain, block down the street from the hospital, single lot. There's a duplex on it. Duplex is 1,650 square feet, leased at $6,600 a month with a 2-car garage. So already the duplex is getting $4 a square foot. Again, it's renovated, but imagine what, with the brand new structure can do. $5 is not given. It's a block away from the hospital, Kaiser Children's Hospital. Kaiser is expanding 1 million square feet. They've already acquired land on Vermont, 2.5 acres. It's going to be 500,000 square feet, a new medical facility coming. So imagine the area is just going to explode in a few years. The land is already boarded up. The Kaiser has acquired. Kaiser paid a tremendous pricing of close to $55 million to acquire 2.5 acres. So they're committed. It's going to be a 10-story new medical facility on Vermont. So again, our recommendation is to do ED1, 28 units, no parking, or to do 5 units of townhome project. Again, we'll beat the ULA tax and a simple structure coming, works the numbers with a roof deck, 3 stories, townhome project. Fees 2%. These are our 3 of the small projects or development sites we have. We have larger ones as well. Any questions?
Do you have SBA clearance on this one? Replacement clearance?
I'm sorry, one more time.
Do you have SBA unit replacement clearance?
Not sure. I have to check with the owner.
Okay, because if not, you have to replace them as affordable.
He does not have any affordable. He bought it direct from the owner. The owner was occupying it, so I don't think there's a replacement unit.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, Rubik,
Thank
for
you.
sharing. We have Alfredo. Is he on the line? He is, yeah. Alfredo, I think you're on mute.
Sorry about that. So this is a new listing in Temple City. It's 9553 Las Tunas Drive. So selling for $1,350,000.
Las
Building,
Tunas Drive. Las Tunas.
yes, Las Tunas. And selling for $1,350,000. The building's 1,700 square feet. The lot size is 3,668 square feet. This lot I talked to the city, and you can develop the lot almost fully. You can add another, is that 1,900 square feet on there? And buy side fee on that's 2.5%. This is right in the heart of Temple City, very desirable. The rents in the area are about 225 a square foot, triple net. All right,
What's
any
the park-
question?
Yeah. What's the parking?
Parking is public parking in the back. It's public lots back there.
Oh, nice.
Can you
Yeah.
assemble a couple of more lots, Alfredo?
Pardon me?
Can you get a couple more lots next to it? Because the lot is small, 3,600 square feet.
It is, but all the lots are the same size in that area.
So my
And-
question is, can you pick up the east or the west or the north or the south? Adjacent properties enlarge it. I might have a client as an owner user.
Well, let me check. I'm not sure, but there might be a couple other opportunities in that area.
Okay,
Yeah, send me your information and I will, Rubik.
yeah, I have an owner user that is in the area. They need like an old bank branch, like a big box, not too much, some parking, but they need about 10,000-15,000 square feet of box.
Okay,
That's all the TI medical related.
gotcha. Okay, let me look for that. So next I have this property. It's been on the market for a little bit. I've presented it before. This is 301 Longdon Avenue in Irwindale. It's used to be a rigging company. The family is selling the property. It is 5.5 million, but they're getting pretty aggressive, so submit all offers. And it is 1.62 acres. Buy side is 2.5%. And the only thing on this property that's kind of a little wonky is the buildings are trailers, so they're not permanent structures. And any questions on that?
I mean, have you guys done a phase 1 on this one? Is there any environmental work?
We have not. And so next door to it, there was a landfill. And this property here was kind of like the access point to the landfill. So what the owner told me before he passed, so obviously I can't verify that, is that this was the entry to the landfill. So this is sitting on the area that hasn't been excavated. I've looked at old photographs and it appears to be correct, but you'd have to do a soils test.
Got it. Well, it's a good lot, good sized lot for anybody. So
It's a nice property, but it's got some challenges. And here's one on 1030 West Second Street in Pomona. This property is 3822 square feet. Lot size is 6,017. Now it's there's two separate parcels, so this is like twice. It's listed as 6,017. It's actually 2 times as big. And it's just an industrial property, low ceilings, 12-foot clear. So this is something somebody has a service company, a plumber, service guy. This would be a great property for them because it's got a yard to store all your equipment. Any questions on this one?
no questions, sir. Well, Alfredo,
All right,
thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is what I
appreciate it.
got. Give me a call.
There you go. Give him a call, Rubik. Anyone else, give him a call. There you go. We got Linda. We got, man, you guys are back to back. I hope you guys got that deal done together. No, oh,
Hi,
good.
everyone.
We have a few.
Okay,
Linda.
so this one actually, no, Alfredo did not bring me a deal. Thank you very much. Just kidding, Alfredo. But I am actually opening escrow on this one. So came to agreement and have a PSA out. So, but I'll still pitch it because there can always, I don't count a deal done till it's done. So this building is 19,000 square feet and it sits on 1.1 acres. It is fully air conditioned, both the office and the warehouse. It is a bit office heavy. However, you can also, always demo office. It has a new roof, new windows, new and refurbished HVACs throughout. It has fire sprinklers, great lot size, lots of improvements throughout. The owners have really taken care of this building. And it's split into 2 units, so it's possible to, occupy the larger portion and then get some rent from the smaller portion. But also there's a way to combine both spaces into one. So someone can use the entire building, which is what most people want to do because they don't want to share. So definitely possible to occupy all of it. The asking price is $325 a square foot, which is 6.175, and the buyer side fee is 2.5%.
Got it.
This property I reduced in price to 1.3. It is 1568 square feet on 2 floors. So on the bottom floor, you have a reception area and kind of 2 open offices. And then on the top floor, you have a kitchen with break room, 2 restrooms, and then a conference room. And then it has 2 kind of large open areas. You can enclose them to be offices. Right now, they're kind of just open working areas. But the building has been completely remodeled inside and out. So it shows very, very well. And it has been painted on the outside, new awnings, new HVAC. It has parking in the front as well as street parking. The zoning is really flexible here as well. You can utilize it for retail, office, and then all types of accessory uses. Even like, for example, quick serve. If you have someone who wants to, do some type of food service here, might be a little challenging because of the 2 floors, but we've had some people look at this creatively for that as well. So very flexible zoning here because it is under county jurisdiction. And this one, again, I just reduced to 1.3. Buyer side fee is 2.5%. And if you have any questions, please give me a call.
I have a question, Linda.
Yes.
Quick question. Tell me more about, is the seller like really motivated? Are they considering seller financing? I mean, tell us more. What are they looking to do? They want to exchange? I mean,
yeah, they want to exchange, so they don't really want to do seller financing from my conversations with them. But anything's possible if it's the right deal and a qualified client. So I wouldn't fully count it out. They definitely have the wherewithal to do that. So not, it's not their desire, but I would say it's a possibility.
got it. Interesting. Just got some potential users that I'm thinking of right now, and I'm like, I have no idea. I'm trying to. It's a very interesting, personable site. The owners, do they occupy it? I think you mentioned. Do they occupy it, or
They
do they rent
did.
it out?
They did previously. They actually occupied this, and then they rented an office space just above it. But then they just completely outgrew it. So I relocated them to Monrovia. So it's completely vacant now. But they did occupy it, yes.
Yeah, it looks a little homey from the pictures.
Yeah.
There you go. Excellent. Well, thank you, Linda. Go ahead. Do you have another one, or?
That is all for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda, for joining us. We have Cheryl.
you.
Come on up in person. Guys, hold the applause, everybody.
Well, my
Hold the
office
applause.
is right down the street. Thought I'd show up in person.
There you go.
So, this property is on Fair Oaks, 118 to 128, North Fair Oaks. It's 2 blocks north of Colorado Boulevard in Old Pasadena. It was built, it's 2 adjoining buildings, but the floor plate is 2 stories with 10,527 square feet, 5,263 square feet per floor, occupied by a law firm. They've been there for 30 years. They've kept great care of the building. It had a new roof last year. Sprinklers were installed in 1989, painted last year, skylights added last year, AT&T fibered the building in 2022. The power is 600 amps. It has 21 private windowed offices, 6 interior offices, 1 large conference room on the ground floor, a smaller conference room on the 2nd floor. And unlike most buildings in Old Pasadena, this has parking in the rear for 12, it's gated with 12 spaces. And then, of course, Old Pasadena has a lot of parking structures with over 8,000 parking spaces in the district. This building is early craftsman inspired interior improvements. It also has 600 square foot patios in the rear on each floor. We're asking $8,350,000, which is $793 a foot. Let's see, oh, it's also located in, part of the National Register of Historic Places. And, for this property and the next one I'm gonna present, they could qualify for the Mills Act, which reduces property taxes, or they could qualify for possibly historical preservation easement, which allows investors, charitable deductions, on development credits. I think that's about it for this. Pardon? Elevator? No, it's not elevator, sir, but I did check with the historical group in the permit office, and you could add an elevator at the rear of the building. Yeah. Any questions? Oh, the zoning. This is, like a block away from the metro. So what uses are allowed, there's no restrictions on parking because you're next to the metro, which is nice. And it allows for retail, restaurant, office on the ground floor, second floor. And then you can use single or multi-unit residential on the second floor.
Cheryl,
Oh, and the fee is 2% to the buyer's broker.
Cheryl, question. I think the city of Pasadena is discussing an adaptive reuse ordinance where to convert offices into other uses such as residential. So I think they're on the first version.
Yes, that's been, yeah, they're motivated to incentivize developers and owners to adaptively reuse office to residential, and in 90 days, well, it's less than that now, probably in about 70 days from now, they're going to have recommendations to offer incentives, maybe tax incentives, to owners to convert their offices to residential. You can do this now with the second floor based on the existing zoning.
Sure.
But as far as where we're going to end up with more incentives to owners, that's to be determined in the next, I'd say, 60 to 90 days.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so here's another great building for adaptive reuse at 95 North Marengo. Originally, it was built as a mortuary. For many years, it's been occupied, part of it as a restaurant, Eden Bar and Grill. The chapel is is now a theater. They're in a month-to-month. And the offices total, let's see, 13,387 square feet. The theater is on a month-to-month, 2,798 square feet. The offices, there's a tenant there, a psychologist. You can give them a year's notice to cancel the lease for an owner user. The zoning allows for most office, medical, retail, work-live units, restaurant uses, indoor commercial recreation, cultural institutions, religious, charitable, affordable housing, child daycare. This is 2 doors also from the metro, so they can't impose parking restrictions on those uses. However, there is a parking agreement with the city of Pasadena for 65 spaces in the structure across the street at market rates, whatever the market rates they're charging. The listing price on this is $20 million. On gross square footage, that's $798 a foot, $850 on the rentable. And this does have an architectural pedigree, I must say, by Marston and Van Pelt, which are very well known in Pasadena. And the commission on this is 1%. You can always come in and ask for more, but our listing is 1%.
That's great.
And the restaurant that's there, their lease expires in 2028 with no options. And they're paying about $2.80 a square foot right now. Yeah. This is a great building for somebody that wants that architectural pedigree, owner user, and plus you can get additional income from the restaurant or the chapel that's a theater right now. Yeah,
And it's right here in Pasadena, ladies and gentlemen.
yes,
Marengo.
right in your backyard, right next to the Civic Center.
Man, all we have to do is come up with 20 million, guys. Hey, can I roll? Can I roll my feet? Can I roll my feet in there? Come on, guys. Let's put it together. I like Pasadena, for those of you.
Well, there are some charitable institutions with a lot of money.
Charitable, I don't know. I don't know if a couple churches want me. No, I'm just playing. No, all right, ladies and gentlemen, anybody questions on the line? Anybody? No? All right, well, thank you, Cheryl, again, for sharing, and we're gonna get that video for you, so you can put that on your social media. We'll DJ everybody. Let's go to the next, listing. All right, Mr. Kumar Varinder,
You guys
you're
hear
on the
me?
line. Yes, yes, did I say your name correctly? Excuse me.
Yes, you did. I actually have another call at 10, but I'm gonna make this quick. I'm not sure what listing we're looking at right now, but
The land
we
development
have
west, in the city of Covina.
okay. So this is a 34 single-family home portfolio in Covina, California. They're all about 2 to 3 miles from each other, and the list price is 13.6. Some of them are. It's primarily occupied.
I apologize, Marinder. We have a land development opportunity located in the city of Covina that's listed for 27 million, 3.96 acres of land. I believe.
Oh, I'm
it's
sorry. We're looking at
7,000
land.
foot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a 4 acre, just about 4 acre land development opportunity. It's zoned for multifamily with the city of Covina, and you can go about 40 units per acre on this for the city of Covina. Listed for 27 million.
Got it.
There's a retail center on it right now, which is about 90% occupied. Completely development play. There's a lot of residential already being built around it. We received about 3 or 4 offers already from large developers. Of course, they came in fairly low. Any questions on this one?
No, I mean, I'm sure you guys have gotten feedback from City Ventures. They were developing down in, Old Town Covina. They built all those townhomes and everything, so I'm sure you're in touch with them. But I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we got a
Covina's
lot
well.
of the big hitters who expressed interest in this. There's another 2 acre lot down the street listed by somebody else for 13 million. Just to give you an idea of what land is going for in that area. It's right around 5 to 6 million an acre.
Question,
Yes, sir.
what are the retail leases expiring?
Uh,
2 years?
they
3?
have about 2 years left on them. However, the seller does have a clause in the leases that upon sale of the property, they'll be terminated.
Any
I apologize,
via-
Verinder. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. We are hitting our time limit. Oh my goodness, look at how much fun we're having. Look at this. Time flies, guys. Time flies. What's going on here, Verinder? I'm gonna need you to send your information to the group. Everybody, if you could put your
Sounds good.
information in the chat. We're gonna if you could send your offering memorandum, we'd love to have you share it.
Sure.
Sure. I know this is a site that we need way more contact, and we'd love to connect with you offline. But we appreciate you coming on the presentation. We will definitely make sure we get everybody listed in here. But I know we actually had our sponsor highlight gentleman here, but we're gonna have to, you're good? Okay, thank you, sir. So he is here listening to everybody's listings, but real quick, we are gonna have our next broker forum November 20th. I'm gonna send you guys all the updates. I appreciate everybody's time. Ladies and gentlemen, we endeavor to start on time, but we always will end on time, and we apologize for the 2-minute overage, but FYI, we have they're calling it an Olympic luncheon. For those of you who are getting ready for the Olympics, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We are having our installation. We have go back real quick, DJ. We have Antonio Lopez, who's our business development manager for the. In essence, he is one of the key individuals for planning and organizing the development for the 2028 Olympics. We'd love to hear from them. We're also gonna have our installation at Lowry's. We're gonna send you guys all this information, but, yes, we are over time, and we appreciate everybody on the call. We will send this all to you via email. Thank you, everybody, and I hope you have a great, he just gave me the wave.
Oh,
The wave this time. Thank you, everybody. Talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. Take care.
well, that's nice of you.